Hi there. There's been a lot of talk on the radio and media and everything else as to how ICBC rates are way too high. And yeah, I agree with some of that. But I also have another issue in the fact that there are a lot of unsafe vehicles driving around that are insured by ICBC. So what I want to do is I want to set up and prove that I can go onto the internet, buy a vehicle, the cheapest vehicle out there. I'm in Kelowna and I want to drive it to Vernon. I want to pick up washer fluid at the 7-Eleven, drive it back to my shop, and then do an actual inspection on it. So here we go. I'm just going to type in our local search area, the Castanet. Okay, looking at their classifieds. Perfect. And we're gonna pick a car just because it'll probably be the cheapest thing that I can get. I'm gonna put anything from starting at $10. We'll search that. And we're gonna go start the lowest price. And the first thing I come up with, hey, a 2000 Cavalier, $300. And let's see if it's ready to go. Accident free, was traded in. It's a 4-cylinder, a daily driver. I think that's gonna be the one we're gonna take. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is actually, it's at a local lot. I'm gonna go down there and basically buy it. We're gonna insure it and film our drive to Vernon. Okay, well, we got it. Car, $200 or $300 in that, and we're ready to go to Vernon. Let's get our stuff together and we're gone. Okay, so let's see what we've got here, okay? When I picked the car up, the car was already running. Here we go. Stay running, come on. Okay, it's shaking a bit. I brought my trusty water bottle out just to kind of see what it's shaking, bouncing around a little bit. Okay, let's give it a go. Here we go. Oh, a little bit of smoke coming out from the back. Couldn't keep it running. Okay, we're in gear and we're off. The vehicle's missing, so I think there's, and the way it's smoking, there might be some sort of head gasket issue. Oh, and look at that. Stalled again, and one of the flashers isn't working right. We'll just test the wipers quickly. Okay, not very good. And no washer fluid. Got a little bit of a flashing check engine light. So the good news is we're rolling. The bad news is I don't think we can actually make it to Vernon, but we're gonna try. So this is the difficulty and the frustration that I have is anybody can pick up a vehicle and drive it. It is written in the Motor Vehicle Act that the driver is responsible for their vehicle, but in truth, accidents happen, collisions happen, and we really do not know how safe those vehicles were. I see many people coming into our garage our automotive shop, and there's issues that are wrong with it. We have many good customers who will address them, or will address them over time. We've also had people come in where the vehicles were completely unsafe, and we had no recourse as to telling them that they can't drive their vehicle. There's been a lot of talk on the radio and that about how our rates are too high. And yes, I agree with that. But on the other hand, if you look at the ICBC website, they talk about how they are going in and they're reducing management and how they're trying to cut costs as a whole. They're also explaining how vehicles are more and more expensive. Injury claims are higher. A bunch of things that are causing rates to go up. The problem is everyone is saying that it's ICBC's fault or their own fault. No one has ever looked at the condition of the vehicle and said, we need to make people responsible for the vehicles first. Okay, well, here we go. We are on the highway. Whoa, okay. Whoa, gotta watch I don't swerve the vehicle here. It's funny, when I went to insure my house this year, they asked if my hot water tank was replaced, the type of pipes I have, do I have aluminum wiring in my house? And I had to go through a whole list of items in order to check off so that they could determine what my insurance would be for my house based on the things that I had. Luckily, my hot water tank was replaced within 10 years, isn't 10 years old. So my rates were reduced. Yet when I went to insure this vehicle, there was no question of, has it been looked at? When was the last time it was looked at? Is the vehicle safe? The difference is right now as I'm driving down the road here, I'm encountering hundreds of vehicles as a citizen of BC, and as a steward of BC, I have the responsibility to make sure that the fellow people around me are safe, as well as my own safety in the vehicle and the safety of my passengers. I am fortunate today as I have a pilot vehicle driving behind me, so that if anything does happen, there's immediate help that can be given. There are drivers that do look after their vehicles and are very meticulous in that. There are also a lot of drivers that don't, that for whatever reasons, the safety of their vehicle is not a priority. The problem is that as a group, we all pool our money together through ICBC. So that means that the driver who takes care of his vehicle is paying for insurance on his vehicle, but is also paying for all those unsafe drivers. And to me, that seems unfair. We shouldn't be going in and penalizing good drivers. ICBC has basically said one of the reasons why they have to increase rates is that, first of all, that there's more vehicles on the road. So that's true. So as a whole, that population has grown. The second reason is vehicles are more expensive to repair that are in accidents. Well, and that is true. I mean, the technology in a vehicle today is great. The amount of airbags in there, the crumple zones, the avoidance detection, the cameras, those are all amazing and great things on vehicles and that help keep us safe. Another reason is the injury claims. And because there's been more accidents, it goes without saying that there are more and more claims. So what I'd like to try and do is to try and to reduce the amount of accidents that are out there. I would like to try and come up with a program potentially a voluntary program that people who choose to have their vehicles inspected would end up receiving a discount on their insurance. Insurance will go up. So that means a person with a safe vehicle, their insurance goes up slightly. A vehicle that it isn't safe and the driver chooses not to have it inspected, they will pay the higher premiums of what's projected. So here comes our big test. We're just passing through Lake Country. And at the end of Lake Country is a large hill. The speed limit is 110 kilometers an hour. Until it's working hard now, she's starting to shake quite a bit. The other thing I notice is there's actually no heat in the vehicle, and I think that there's a head gasket problem with the car that's having issues. So right now, the best I can do up the hill is about 80k. I was at 90 and it's dropping down. But luckily enough, I think we're cresting the top of the hill here. Okay, so I'm driving at 100k and the car feels very sloppy, very loose in that. So I think this is as fast as I do want to go. Okay, so I'm having some interesting knocking sounds and that coming from the car. What I'm going to try and do is gear down a little bit. And I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to try and turn around so that I can get back. We'll find a safe spot, obviously, to do that. Because I think this is as far as we're going to be able to go with this vehicle. Okay, I'm just kind of rolling over to the side here. And we're coasting. I'm going to have to put on my 4-ways. And the vehicle has stalled, so I'm just going to kind of coast around. I have my pilot vehicle in the back, just guiding traffic around me, which is great. And I think that's as far as it goes. So what I'm going to just try and do is what we may try and do is just let it cool down a little bit. If not, I'm going to have to get a tow truck to come get me.
Is it okay if I use your truck to gently push?
Oh yeah, totally.
And because there's a turnoff just down here and it's all downhill.
Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're just getting ourselves off the road here. We're just using our pilot vehicle to push us off and see if we can do something from there. Little road just off the head, up ahead, where we're gonna turn off and or get out of danger in that, so, and decide what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're just coming up to a spot spot where we can turn off in that, and I think that's as far as we're going. I've tried a couple of times. The battery is basically dead to try and get it started, so I'm gonna have to phone a tow truck, and we're gonna get it towed home. Hi Mike, Tony here. How you doing? Good, good. I need a tow. I'm in a red Cavalier. Well, that's the extent of our experiment here. Obviously it shows that there's more to it than just buying something and insuring it. We've got a tow truck coming. We're going to tow it back to our shop, and we're actually going to do a safety inspection on it to see how the vehicle stands out overall. So we'll just wait. I'm going to be waiting up for the tow truck up at the top. Okay, so what do we got? Oh, we go with it does turn over. The oil did not smell very good there. And there is no coolant in the tank that I can see, so I'm not sure how much we got left in the vehicle. The signal light in the front isn't working. I have all season tires in the front. I have a winter tire on the back, and the brand is a Rovello. If we come back to the driver's side, there is a all-season tire on it, and it's a completely different brand. It's a Firestone. The tires are mixed matched, and if there is winter tires on, they should be on the front. However, they should also have a set of 4. Well, how are you doing?
And you?
Well, we're shooting a video as to how easy it is to insure a vehicle. So what we were trying to do is we bought it first thing this morning. We were going to drive it to Vernon and back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, $300 we bought it for. Obviously, it's not that safe, and it only made it this far. So that was our experiment, just to show that it doesn't. You can insure anything. We just wanted to see what ICBC would insure.
ICBC will insure anything that you pay them for.
So
as long as it doesn't have an outstanding inspection on it, I don't think they care.
No, they don't, and that's.
And I'm living proof. I've got a 45-year-old Datsun 240Z that is rotten.
Yeah.
They never even looked at it. They insured it and sent it down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, your car is not safe.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one of the guys do an inspection on this, and that just kind of see how it actually stands up as a whole, and go from there. So here we do digital inspections of vehicles, and our technician has checked out the vehicle, and with it we found 35 items that are good, 6 items that should be looked at later on down the road. but there are 20 items that require servicing immediately. And out of those 20 items, 13 of them are safety related for the reason that the vehicle should not be on the road. So as we scroll through looking at our list here, we come to the big things, the check engine light being on. It was a flashing check engine light. The condition with the vehicle overall was the vehicle needed head gasket. The safety part of it, such as lights not working, brake pads on the rear shoes are worn out, metal to metal, the shocks of the vehicle being extremely loose, there was clunking in the front, squeaking of belts. Those are the big issues that in turn actually change the responsiveness of a vehicle. So now what we have is me being a good driver, I am driving an impaired vehicle. And for that reason, the whole vehicle becomes impaired. This is something that we need to address. And in order to make the road safe again and for ICBC rates to come down, we need to ensure that all vehicles are safe out there. I'll be putting together some other ideas, potentially in further videos and through websites and that, and how we can look at and really changing this so that we can make BC roads safe again.